Imani Sade, and if you're seeing this video, then that means that you bought my digital makeup course. Somebody's on their way to beating that face, baby, and I am happy for you, period, okay? So I hope that this course helps you learn a new makeup trick. I hope that it gives you a little bit more comfortability with doing your makeup. And just so you know, you can watch this video as many times as you like. So you have access to this forever. Do not feel rushed. Pause as many times as you need. Go back as often as you need. Stop the video, pause it, flip back, reverse, okay. Anyway, but whatever you need to do to feel comfortable, I want you to go ahead and do that. I was very vulnerable in this video. I came in with literally nothing. And now we have full glam. So however you need to get it done, do what's best for you, boo. And I also included 2 digital PDFs that are free for you guys because I love y'all. So what I did was I am incorporating a few face maps that will show you where to highlight and contour on your face for your face shape. And then I'm also going to include a digital PDF. So that's going to be all of the products that I used today incorporated into a PDF that is shoppable. So it will take you directly to the link, whether that's on Amazon, Sephora, Target, wherever the case may be. That PDF is going to be available to you guys as well. So follow along, get your tea, get your wine, whatever you need, and prepare to beat that face, baby. Guys, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's jump right on into it. The first products that I'm going to be using is the e.l.f. Putty Primer and the e.l.f. Matte Primer. Both of these can be found at Target, but don't worry, it is all included in that PDF I was talking about. So what I'm doing is basically on a clean face, putting on these 2 products to make my base. The second thing that I'm doing is using the clear brow gel to comb my brows out, get them nice and saturated, and I'm separating the hairs and getting them in place for where I want my brow to be. This is super important, guys. The next thing that I'm doing is going in with a spatula and laying everything down and then using a spoolie to kind of like brush the hairs exactly where I need them to be right before it's time to do the filling in, which is the most important part of doing brows. It's probably the longest part of my eyebrow routine, but basically what I start doing is taking short strokes on the underneath of my brow, and then I go over the top and make the line for that side as well. As you can see, like what I'm doing here, I'm doing the top line and the bottom line. Then I'm going in and making more small strokes to fill in the tail end of the brow. And this is basically however you like your brows to be. You don't have to overdraw them. You can follow your natural line and just fill it in. You do not have to go over dramatic like how I'm doing here. But I really love dramatic brows, so that's normally what I do. So you basically just fill it into your liking, make it as dark as you want. And then I'm switching over to the other side. One word of advice, if I can give you anything, is that your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. They do not have to be exactly the same, but they can be in the same family, if you know what I'm saying, okay? So I'm doing that same thing on the other side. I'm doing the lines underneath as well as on top of the brow, but like I said, I do overdraw my eyebrows. So that's what you're seeing me do here, is kind of overdraw the top part of my brow to make them seem thicker. And like I said, we're just going to keep making those short strokes. Take your time. You don't have to go super fast. Just fill in your brow however you want it to look. And after you use that brow gel and you mold them into place, this product is going to go on super easy, and you don't have to use the eyebrow pencil that I'm using. That is the Benefit brow pencil, and that is something that I would consider to be like a professional product because it does have a little bit of a price tag attached, but it is a good brow pencil. But I would say if you're just starting out, you can definitely use like an NYX or an e.l.f. brush that's like $5 at Target or your beauty supply. The next product that you see me using is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I literally love this because it has an ink pen on one side And then it has like the eyebrow pencil on the other side, but I like the ink pen because it allows me to make like those little wispy hairs that you see me doing. And it just gives it like more of a dramatic, like microbladed brow effect. Now, this particular time I was doing my eyebrows, it definitely wasn't coming out exactly the same color brown, which was really irritating me. But like I said, sisters not twins. It looks like we got one light-skinned sister and one dark-skinned sister. I never get super upset when I'm doing makeup because there's literally nothing that you can do wrong. So all you have to do is just blend, and everything will work out. What I'm doing here is using the Too Faced concealer for underneath my brow, and I'm taking short strokes and highlighting, well, concealing, should I say, the brow shape from underneath. Then I'm going to take my foundation shade, which is also in Too Faced, and I'm using that to carve out the top of my brow. After that, I'm going to spray with some setting spray and then start blending the concealer out with my Real Techniques brush, which is also included in the PDF kit, guys. So I'm not showing each and every single product, but just know that everything is going to be inside of the PDF with the link, so you'll be able to click on it and find it super easily. You don't have to worry about writing anything down. So like I said, we're just gonna blend that out with the brush. And if you want your brows to stand out a lot, then I will recommend not blending out as much towards your actual brow structure and just focus on blending in the concealer with the remainder of your face. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're still going to put on foundation and contour. So it's perfectly fine if you still see a couple of lines of just, because that's like your first product that you're putting on. So it's not going to be perfect just yet. But don't worry, over time it's going to continue to come together. Just trust me. So what I'm doing here is just kind of like fixing any little mistakes that I made or anything that I want to fix up really quick. Even though I don't try to make them exactly the same, I do want to make sure that they both look symmetrical in some sort of way. So right here, I'm going in with that same foundation shade in Too Faced, and I am putting that all over my spots where I would like to cover, like full coverage. This is a full coverage product, so I really like using that because I am hyperpigmentation prone. So that is something that I really like about the Too Faced products. They are full coverage and they definitely are worth the price tag. It is another luxury product that you absolutely do not need, but I absolutely feel like if you love full coverage, then you cannot go wrong with Too Faced. So basically what I'm doing right now is blending that out, and then I'm going to go in with a sponge to kind of pick up that excess product, take that little bit of that shine away, and then just make sure that everything is thoroughly blended out. There are no lines, there's no extra makeup, because the brush will get the majority of it done, but the beauty blender is what's going to make sure that your look is seamless and symmetrical. So here is the base right before we start adding the contour. And what I'm doing right now is showing you guys my contour for 1 shade and 2 shades darker. So I feel like if you really like dramatic makeup, then you will probably want to go 2 shades darker. But I'm going for a natural look today, so I'm doing 1 shade. But I'm also going to mix that shade with a tad bit of the concealer that I use underneath my brow to make it just a little bit lighter, because like I said, we're going for a very natural look, and that is a pro tip I recommend you do. Even if you get a contour shade that's 2 shades darker, you can always make it fit your routine by adding in either your foundation or your concealer to mix it and create the color that you would like. That's another tip on how I get my makeup to last super long, because I'm over here mixing colors when it's wintertime and I'm a little lighter. I add more concealer when it's summertime and I'm a little darker. I don't have to do as much, but either way, you can use 3 shades which would be your concealer, your foundation, and your contour all year if you pick them correctly. So basically what I'm doing now is going in with the Beauty Blender again to blend out the contour. And I did add a little bit of the darker shade to it just because I could tell that it was kind of going to be a little bit too light. And I do like for my makeup to be just, you know, a little structured. I like for my cheekbones and everything to pop out. And that's what your concealer and your contour are doing. The concealer is making things bigger and pop out, where your contour is hiding things and bringing in the shape. So this is a key point in my makeup routine to make my brows and everything just melt together. I actually blend out that bottom line with the contour shade and blend in the contour with my eyebrows. I tried to zoom in so you guys could see it, but just try to, you know, pay attention as much as you can if you catch my drift. Blend that contour out into your brow. I promise you it is going to make such a difference in your routine. You can use as much of that and as little of that as you would like. You can just blend out the bottom line, but I literally put the contour shade on top of my eyebrow. Like, I love how it just makes my routine look. It just looks so good. So then I'm going in with the blending out the contour on the corner of my eyes, and I'm just going to start adding in my concealer. This is the lighter shade that I use underneath my brows. Once again, you can do your whole face with literally 3 products. So I'm putting that a little bit on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and then a little bit on my chin, and I'm going to do the foundation color, which is the color that I use on the top of my brows underneath the contour. And that's basically just going to make sure that all my lines are hitting and everything is able to blend together with a nice transition. We'll call that the transitional shade. Your foundation is your transition shade. So you spray again with your setting spray. And when I tell you your setting spray, your beauty blender, and your makeup brushes are going to be your best friend during your makeup routine, I literally mean it, because that setting spray is going to melt everything together. It's going to set your face. It's going to make sure that that makeup does not move. It's going to make sure that it doesn't look super cakey. It's just gonna give everything a very nice finish. And you'll see as the routine goes along, the more spray I add, the better it looks. So then I'm going in with a little bit more of the contour, because I could tell I took out a little bit too much of the shape in my face, which is why I said this is what the contour is for. It's to bring in that shape and the structure of your face when you start washing it out with that foundation and that concealer. But with the makeup routine, you can always add and remove as much as you see fit, and just keep blending, guys. That is my biggest piece of advice. So now I'm going underneath my eye with that concealer, and I am blending it out. I'm not blending as much towards like the inner corner of my eye, because I want that to be very bright, but I am blending out the lines around it because I do want it to look very finished. And I let that sit for a second. And one thing I will say about the Too Faced concealers is that they are literally amazing. You let that bad boy sit for a couple of minutes, and it is going to be so tacky, and it's going to be the perfect consistency that you need to make that color stick and pop. So after you get done doing that, go back in with your beauty blender. I normally use the bottom for the contour and the corners for the concealer. And I'm just blending out those lines once again. Like I said, guys, you have to blend. Blending is a key part of your makeup routine. You have to do it. So I'm going in with a little bit of the lighter concealer just to make it pop a little bit more. And I'm blending that out with the corner part of the beauty blender. Please don't talk about my beauty blender. It ripped when I was cleaning it because I literally be squeezing the heck out of that thing. I need to stop doing that. But the beauty blender is your best friend. The beauty blender and the brushes. So just keep going back and forth. If you feel like a line hits too hard, go back and blend it out again. Don't worry. You can always, like I said, add and remove as you see fit. I really don't want to talk through the entire thing because I feel like, it's also going to be helpful to just kind of watch a little bit. But I do want to explain some of the reasons why I'm doing things. But right now, I'm just making sure, cross-checking that everything is thoroughly blended out and I have the perfect base before I move on to adding blush and setting powder, because once you start setting, that stuff is not going anywhere. So you want to make sure that there's no creases, there's no lines, and everything is the exact way that you want it to look before you add the setting powder, because the setting powder is the finisher. That's what's going to lock that stuff into place, guys. It's very important that you are blending that thing out before you add the setting powder. So I'm putting that all over. I'm going to let that sit for a second, and I'm going underneath my eye with a neutral brown color just to give my eye a little bit of shape. I'm not trying to do an eyeshadow look per se, but I do want it to look very finished. So I used a shade that was going to be very close to the color of the contour shade that I'm using in my bronzer shade. And then I'm going to go in at the outer corner and just add a little bit of a dark brown just to give it like side smoky, but not really too smoky, because that's not what we need. So then after that, I'm going to go in with a very light brown, like I said, the same brown that I used for the under eye, and just highlight that contour shade again. And now I'm going in with some bronzer in all the same spots that I previously contoured with the liquid. So another pro tip that I can give you guys is that for everything wet, you're going to need to use something dry. So if you use a foundation, you need to set it. If you use a concealer, you need to set it. If you use a contour that's liquid, you need to be setting it with the corresponding color in powder. So I just went in and blended out the powder that I used, and now I'm going in with a it's like a neutral. I wanted to say white so bad, but it's like an off-white with like a little bit of pink shade for the top of the lid. And I'm gonna go in just a little bit towards the lines of my nose with it, because that just gives it like such a good transition. I don't know really how to explain the methodology in that, but when I tell you, it just brings the look together. It brings the look together. So I'm going in again with the pressed powder, and this is in the shade of my foundation. I'm just going in and blending out all of that translucent powder and giving it the finished look. And then next you're going to go in with your blush, and I'm using the Benefit Willa Blush. Like I said, guys, I really I didn't get all of the products in here on the video, like on the little mini pop-ups, but they're all going to be included in the PDF. So don't worry if you didn't see something that I'm using, because everything is going to be included in that. So I'm going down the bridge of my nose with that same contour shade, blending, and now it is time to do your eyeliner. I'm using the Kat Von D tattoo pen, liquid pen. It's a liquid ink pen. It's an eyeliner. What I will say about this is that it was very like, this was my first time using it, and it was very like, I don't want to say sticky, but you can see like it kept getting stuck. So I recommend it because I love the finish of it, but I don't know how to make it stop doing that. And for my bottom lashes, I just use the Wet n Wild Paint Pot in the shade Black. I always have used that for my under eye, but I was trying to get into doing more wings, so I wanted to get an ink pen for the liner at the top. But really, you don't have to do wings. You can just do a basic line across your top waterline, and that will get the job done. What your top and bottom eyeliner is for is to basically make your eyes pop, and then at the bottom, and then at the top, it is to, in my opinion, it is to hide the lash band if you are going to apply lashes. I feel like if you are not going to be wearing lashes, you should stay away from top liner, because if your lashes aren't super long, then you're not going to really be able to see your lashes to the full extent. So I would just recommend using liner for your bottom lashes, and then washing out your eyelid completely with like the light powders like you saw me use here, and then just go in with like 3 or 4 coats of mascara, like literally cake it on there. Get you an eyelash curler. I know that we all looked at eyelash curlers as kids and were like, what is that? But now I see why people use it who wear their natural lashes, because it literally takes the look to the next level. Because yeah, it just does. So what you see me doing here is basically perfecting that line, taking little strokes, same way I do with my brows. You don't have to rush this, guys. If you want it to be perfect or look very, uniform, then just please take your time, especially when you're first learning. So now I'm going in with the Benefit They Are Real mascara. I love this mascara so much. But you can kind of see what I was saying as far as when you do a dramatic eyeliner on your top lid, you can't really see your natural lashes. But I am applying lashes today. I'm using the Ardell Natural Wispies. They are actually one of the only things that I did not include in the PDF, and that's because I can't find them online. I got them at Target, but I couldn't find them anywhere. Excuse me. So I'm going in with that setting spray one more time. That's probably one of the last times you'll see me use the setting spray. And then I'm using the end tip of my tweezer to apply the glue to the lashes. I feel like that helps me get it really clean and make sure that I don't get any glue on my actual lash hairs. And then I'm just gonna I let that sit for a second actually and get tacky, because when I go in to apply the lash, I normally try to just make it stick in one spot, and then I take my time and I try to line that lash up perfectly with my bottom lash line, so that the eyeliner that I just put in and the mascara that I just put on blend perfectly with those lashes, so that it looks like I'm not wearing any lashes at all. It looks very natural. And that also is dependent on what type of lashes that you get. But I highly recommend that if you like just natural wispy lashes, then try the Ardell Wispies. They're really, 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 really good lashes. Those are like the OG lashes that the girls used to wear, if you know, you know. And people still wear them, clearly. It's just a really good lash. So take your time with this. As you can see, I am lining the lips. I did get 3 of those lip product items from the beauty supply, so I was not able to add those, but I did add the Fenty, I did add the NYX, and I did give 2 additional recommendations on the lip liners. All you really need is a dark brown and like a nude pink to achieve this look, and a like a nudie or sparkly lip gloss. So basically what I'm doing is outlining the outer part of my lips with the dark brown, and then filling in the middle and top section with the pink. If you want it to be more of like a washed nude, you are going to see me use a concealer with a makeup brush and just add that on top, so that the concealer has like a pink tint to it. And then I'm going to add in the gloss on top of that, after I just go back in and make sure that the shape of my lips that I wanted is exactly perfect. Ugh, the look just came together, guys. Like, do you see that? We started from the bottom, now we're here. I'm so excited, guys. If you made it this far, then you really are. You should be there. I can't wait to see you guys' looks, what you created, and how you are going to personalize this and make it your own. As you can see, I'm just doing the finishing touches to my look. You can add and use as many different glosses as you like. I think I use about 3 or 4 different glosses, but I did include 2 of the 3 in the PDF, guys. And I thank you so much again for purchasing my makeup course. I hope you enjoyed this video. Look out in your emails for any updates coming from me. I am going to start hosting live soon. So please look forward to that, guys. Be looking out for my emails and let me know if you have any questions or concerns as far as the video. And I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much again, guys.